Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Tuesday, October the 18th, 2022. Tuesday, October the 18th, 2022. Well, not too much to me really happened. Not really. One thing I completely did not understand. No, I understood it because it's typical, but I didn't like it and I didn't see the need for it. And what I'm talking about is Nick Newman. Nick decides to show up on top of the rooftop the next morning because Adam spent the whole night out there. And I could have swore we're getting into fall in Wisconsin. It should have been cold out there, right? But Adam stayed there all night. And Nick says, I thought I might find you here. You weren't at the office, you weren't at home. So I figured you'd still be here. And I'm thinking, why are you there, Nick? Why are you there? Which is what Adam is like, you know what, Nick? I don't look, just don't even go there. I don't want to talk to you. Just leave, Nick. And Nick is like, no, I have some things I want to say to you. I'm gonna talk to you. And I'm thinking, for what, Nick? Now, you and Sally allegedly, let's hug it out. Let's hug our, well, I guess we'll just walk away. Let's hug it out. Yeah. So, what would be the need or the necessity for you to show up there and talk to Adam? He told Chloe that no, Adam needed space, him and Sally. So I'm not going to go over there. Then why are you there now, Nick? And then he tells Adam, I knew, what you did last night. I didn't show up over here last night. And so Adam's like, I'm surprised you didn't. He goes, no, I felt you and Sally needed to talk and to work out, your resolve your issues, whatever they are, or your feelings. I, for one small moment, thought Nick was going to say, you know what, brother? This is what Sally and I decided last night. We decided we're going to walk away. I thought for a small moment Nick was going to be a man, a real man. Nick is always so starched, and so I got to do the right thing, or everybody's got to do the right thing. He is not doing the right thing because his feelings are not that deep for Sally. They really aren't. And he sees his brother does love her. Okay. So Nick, of course, he didn't. Adam ends up leaving. Nick didn't even say any words of nothing, but I'm not going to allow you to hurt Sally. I'm not going to allow you to hurt her. That's all he could say. I'm not gonna. Oh, shut up, Nick. So I was really done with that. And then we have Summer. Summer goes to Sally and question her, telling her, I saw you at the coffee house. And Sally's like, you don't know what you saw. Sally was coy as Sally wanted to be. And Summer's like, no, oh, it's wrong. It is wrong for that. You are no good for my father. Don't think I forgot X, Y, and Z. And so he goes, no. And bottom line, Sally goes, it's still your father's grown. I am a different person, because she goes, don't think I didn't forget what you did to me. And she goes, I'm a different person from then. And I'm looking at Sally and I'm thinking, your name is still Sally Spectra. We're talking something you dastardly did a year ago. What's made you change, Sally? She hasn't even changed from what she's done 2 years ago on The Bold and the Beautiful. She hasn't changed. As a matter of fact, after Summer and Kyle, remember they went to work on Victoria and Ashland? Sally Spectra has hardly changed at all. period. You know, I'm a different person. No, you're not different. Please get out of here. So Sally gave Summer nothing, which I knew she wasn't, and Adam goes to work. Kyle runs into him and gives his usual condescending, you don't deserve this job speech. Although Adam did look like he rolled in after a bender, shirt all open, tie all crazy, looking haggard. He really should not have come to work looking like that, or he should have just got some sleep, freshened up, and then come to work, you know. So, whatever. Adam blows him off because he's like, you know what, Kyle, don't you worry about me. You abandon this job, you know. And so Kyle's like, well, I'm on vacation as of this moment. I'll be back. I ain't even thinking about you. And I'm thinking, now, good. You shouldn't be thinking about him now. He works for your father, just like you, Kyle. Different divisions. So Kyle goes, Summer has Nick meet her at society, and she talks to him about Sally Spectra. And I thought Summer was going to give him a harder way to go regarding Sally. And Nick skated around it. Look, there's nothing going on really between me and Sally, and whatever is my business. I can handle it. He pretty much did not entertain Summer's concerns about Sally. And Summer didn't even say how she would be personally offended if he was with Sally. She kind of let him, she goes, Dad, Sally and Mom are both women you should not be with. Both of them, they're tight. And he goes, wow, I'm surprised you're putting both of them in the same. She goes, no. Oh, no, I'm not putting them both into the same. Got some construction work going outside. I'm sure you're all hearing that beep that seems to be getting louder from the truck backing up. So Summer's like, no. I'm not putting them in the same category at all. Sally is a viper, and she goes, but their personalities are not what works well with you. She knows Nick and Phyllis never stay together long. They never do. Every time they tell her we're getting back together again, Summer's like, oh, here we go. Round what? I love you both, but okay, round what? So anyway, needless to say, Kyle shows up. And Nick says, on that note, you two have a great vacation. And, he just blows off Summer. So she initially sits down and Kyle is talking about, oh, Adam showed up to work looking like this. And Summer's like, oh, and I went to speak to Sally. And then they both realize, wait a minute, we're going on vacation. Let's leave all this behind. It'll be here when we get back. And so that's exactly what they decide to do. And we have Victoria and Nate's conversation. It was an interesting conversation to me. He tells Victoria what he had done. She's not really upset with him. And he tells him Elena left him. And she goes, I fear I may have had a part in that. I saw her at Crimson Light and I thought I was making it better. And he goes, no, I'm not blaming you. Elena had her own opinions and her mind made up long before whatever you said to her. So then Victoria's like, he goes, I just in the end could not go through with it and do that to my family. And I'm thinking, well, that's a lie, because had Elena not broken up with you, you still would have done that to your family, Nate. So Victoria's like, oh, well, you know what, then I appreciate, I can see that. And but I wish you would have, I asked you, could you do this to your family? And we put a lot of things in play. And he goes, and for that, I'm sorry. She goes, well, she goes, but nothing that couldn't be undone, because look, all Victor did was go move money around, period. She goes, things can be put back the way they were. I know they can. So then she's saying, well, you know what? Even though the IPO may not be going on, But that still doesn't prevent you from selling your stock in Chancellor Winters to me. See, Victoria's still working an angle, still working an angle. And I thought, oh, wow, Victoria. And in my mind, I'm thinking those stocks only came into existence, the proposed split, if they were going public. And like Nate said, well, bottom line, I'm fired. So, and there were never any stock shares given to me in writing ever. Neil left me his board seat with Hamilton Winters when he passed. And when the merger happened, I still had a board seat. He said, but that didn't necessarily equate, nor did it ever equate to any stock in writing, you know, because it dealt with Hamilton Winters. Once it became Chancellor Winters, there was nothing in writing as far as stock, Victoria. I just still have my board seat. And so she goes, okay. He goes, and you know what? And one thing it helped me realize this whole thing, Neil left me that seat for the family company because he trusted me. And I betrayed that trust and I lost sight of that trust. So even if I did have stock, I wouldn't sell it. I have to try to make amends. And so then Victoria says, well, you know what? I'm going to see if I can find a position for you here at New. She's happy that he didn't give her up, that he didn't say it was Victoria, the CEO. But watch, once it comes out, she ain't gonna have no need, because he says, no, I didn't tell them who it was. There's no need for them to know that you and I, you know, had the deal. So she goes, well, I like that loyalty that you've shown towards me. And I'm thinking, yeah, as you were disloyal to your family. So she goes, I'm going to try to find a position for you, because I want you on staff. Chancellor Winters' loss is Newman's gain. So Nate leaves and Nicholas finally shows up for work. And Victoria tells Nick that I want Nate to come and work for the company. And Nick is like, wait, what? Like that Benedict Darno? He's disloyal. He was going to sell his family out and yada, yada, yada. Why would you want to bring him here? She goes, well, you know, bottom line, I don't want Sally Spectra working for the company. She's not qualified. I want Nate over Newman Media. And Nick looks at her. He says, you want, let me see, a ex-MD to be over a media company. What kind of sense does that make, Victoria? How is he qualified for that? You know, he is no more qualified for it than Sally was, but at least Sally's been doing the job and she's been doing a good job. But nah, you know what? Nate has a degree. He's put his time in. You know, Sally is school of hard knocks. No, Nate deserves it more than Sally. And so Nick says, well, you know what? Bottom line, we both are going to agree, and I'm trying to talk over this construction truck outside. We both are going to agree that we're not going to make any moves right now. And she goes, well, Nick, okay, but guess what? You need to understand it's going to happen. I'm going to be bringing Nate on board and I want Sally out. So Nick is going to have to break that down to Sally, okay? Because not only does Victor want Sally out, Victoria wants Sally out. Sally, well, and bottom line, Sally can't keep her head in the game enough between both brothers. Come on now, but Nate is no better. Nate is no better at all. What even could he do at a media company? Oh, what a horrible decision Victoria wants to make, but that is Victoria. So then we have Lily and Devon are talking. Lily is still just dumbfounded regarding what Nate did to them, you know, what Nate did to the family. And Devon says, yeah, I know. I can't believe it either. But Lily, we got to get our head back into work. We've got to move forward. And she goes, yeah. You know, I got to talk to Jill to see, you know, about how we can move forward from this. And Devon's like, wait, move forward? Oh, no. And she's like, well, what do you mean? She goes, if what almost happened didn't teach you anything, it should have taught you that we almost lost it all. We almost lost, we could have lost everything. So then he says, so I no. So she goes, well, and he goes, and I can't believe that you would consider doing it. And so she says, well, for one, I can't make that choice. It's Jill's choice. Jill is part owner in this company. You know, Jill owns the company or part owner of the company. I can't make the choice. And so he goes, well, you sure can't, but see, that name says Chancellor Winters. And the Winters is from the company me and our father built. I own half of this. He said, so I'm telling you it's not going to happen at all, period. And if Jill has a problem with that, you have Jill talk to me, Lily. And Lily just looks at him, and I'm thinking, finally, Devon, you stepped up, period. And keep your foot firmly down. No, it's not going to happen. See, and so now let's see what Jill has to say, because no, Devon is like, no. And I'm telling you, Devon also has the power to, I will buy my company back out from this because he's got the money. Devon has way more money than Jill. Catherine left Jill chancellor, but she left Devon her billions. He's got way more money. Now, as a matter of fact, Devon can buy out Jill's interest in chancellor. So we shall see where that goes. And I'm happy he kept his foot down on that. And for so then we had a scene where Connor's at the coffee house by himself, and Sally walks in to get a cup of coffee, and she's looking, there's no Chelsea, there's no Adam. And she goes, Connor, you by yourself? First, Connor says, yeah, my mom dropped me off here. She's gonna go talk to my dad. And Sally kind of thought that was strange. So then she ends up talking to him, and come to find out he lied to Chelsea, told Chelsea he saw Adam in the coffee house, and Adam wasn't there. He goes, I just wanted to get out of the car with her. But throughout the course of Sally talking to him, she had texted Adam under the table, get to Crimson like fast as Connor. So Adam was on his way. So Adam caught the end of the conversation where he was saying, no, I just needed to get out the car. He goes, my mom wants to pretend that everything is okay, that we're okay. She goes, we're not. He says, we're not okay. Everything's not okay at all. Meaning my mother is spiraling way out of control. That's what Connor is saying. You know, see, this whole Johnny thing has got her not thinking about the child she's supposed to be raising, right? Or seeing when she goes and picks him up from the ranch, because the boy is still living in the ranch. Why Chelsea has not rented an apartment, rented a unit, rented a condo with the money she has from selling her penthouse, Adam's penthouse. She got to keep all the money, but she's still staying in a hotel. So that's the excuse that I don't have my child with me. Yeah, right. So Adam comes in on the end, and he was like, is my dad with you? And Sally's like, no. And then he goes, you and my dad aren't together anymore. And she's like, well, no, he goes, I could tell, because my dad, he used to be happy when he was with you, and now he's not, he doesn't smile anymore. He's not happy. And Sally kind of felt a little moved with that, like, wow. But Adam came in on the part where Connor's saying things are not okay. And mom's pretending they are, but they're not okay. And he just does not want to be around that. So I can already tell Connor's probably going to be going back to boarding school and then come back 15 years old next year. That will probably happen, right? He's going to go away. So last but not least, we do have, this is the only picture I felt I wanted to put together, because there was just nothing else that really stuck out with me that I wanted to do pictures of on today's episode. We have Devon. He goes over to Nate's, and he goes in and he's talking to Nate like, okay, you know what? Now there's nobody but you and me. I want you to tell me how you could do this to the family. And I want you to tell me what is really going on with you. See, because there's no job on the table. Because Nate's like, well, what difference does it make? It really doesn't make any difference, what I say. And he goes, look, there's no job on the table. So you and I could say whatever we want to each other. Let's clear this air. Let's get it out there and let's talk. And so Nate just looks at him, and I thought, yeah, because see, while you were in the office, he sure was in Devon's face talking about, yeah, let's do it again. You ain't gonna get no lucky sucker punch in now. So it's like, okay, look, now that we in your place, let's mess up some furniture, cousin. Let's mess up some furniture, okay? Let's toss it up, you and I. Let's see who's gonna win. Even though Nate is way bigger than Devon, but Devon may have more. I know Victor taught him boxing. Devon hasn't had to use any physical skills, but Devon may be faster, and Devon just may have more skills. And allegedly, remember, Nate's hand is still can't do too much, so he probably can't fist it up real good. I don't know. We shall see. So we'll see what happens tomorrow on The Young and the Restless with those two. So now let's go to comment corner. We have, I like savings challenges, said, I was thinking everyone who hates Adam because of the death of Delia, I really think the accident was caused by Nikki drinking that night. Nikki was on the road that night. Reason why it ended up being Adam. Delia's scarf was up under Adam's car, not Nikki's car. And he knew it. And Adam's car was damaged. The front bumper was damaged. He was trying to figure out how to get that car fixed. It was definitely Adam. And Patricia says, I love the Tucker Diane scenes, and you're an admin of the scenes are funny and great. Glad I'm a subscriber. Love that Trevor St. John is showing that fiery, almost psycho side fans love when he was Todd Manning. I know on One Life to Live. I also like Audra. I also think Audra is either Tucker's daughter or girlfriend or just a brilliant business partner. I don't think that there's romance in between those two because they've never even, we already know what Audra, how she acts when there could be romance involved. Audra gets on it. Hey, somebody sounds like somebody missed me now. Audra, there's nothing romantic between her and Tucker. Perhaps the beautiful Audra will pair with Adam, and Tucker may make a move on Victoria for information. I think Nate and Victoria have chemistry. Nate and Victoria, few years ago, probably 5, there was a period where they had gotten kind of close, but that's when it was a different actor playing Nate. It was a different actor playing Nate. Libby says, I also love the daily recap. Ladies acting out the scene, so funny. It crossed my mind that Trevor might woo Victoria, but that would be too much of the Ashland. I know, I don't think they're going to do that. That's too close to the Ashland Locke plot. And they also know, yes, Tucker is a corporate raider, so no, we ain't going down that road again. Not at all. And then it says, now Nate and Victoria, that would be exciting when he was a respectable chief of surgery. That's, a Newman can marry a chief surgeon, but an unemployed, family betraying person, no, Victor would not even go for that. And then Dito says, those two, let's see. Oh, wait a minute. What else happened there? Oh, it says all of a sudden he becomes her advocate to stay. Oh, no, talking about Sally and Nick. It says it's hard to buy into any reason for Sally and Nick to be together. We only have the conversation between the characters about Adam and Nick's competitiveness after the fact. The writers didn't develop a lead-in relationship. They did not at all. We never saw Nick being interested in her while she was with Adam. All of a sudden, he became her advocate to stay on after Adam bailed. That's right. And then boom, they're in the sack. That was really, actually, they were shaking hands, getting ready to shake hands. We go for our first touch, our first handshake to on the couch. That made zero sense. I agree with that, Libby. And then Dito says those two talk to their non-relationship to death and still are talking it to death. Like you, I didn't see a buildup or any attraction whatsoever. I think the writers missed the mark on a lot of the storylines and just toss stuff on the wall and see what would stick. That's exactly what happened to me. And then Libby says, my experience is that men hate the kind of conversation at the beginning of a hookup. I hate it too. Though I never jumped my boss. Maybe the rules are different. No, there's still an attraction, usually. Office romances still are an attraction or unfortunately coerced by the boss. Unfortunately, that happens sometime. But needless to say, it don't just come out the blue. You see that coming. And then raw, keep it clean, sister, LOL. That's what Dito says. And then we have Robin. Robin says, you made me laugh. Yes, Chloe needs a life. I think Kevin is on Days of Our Lives. Yes, Kevin is on Days of Our Lives. I saw some kind of clip scene. There's quite a few characters from other. You know what was interesting? There used to be a time when soap opera characters, with the exception of the actress that plays Ashley, because she's played Ashley for years. I mean, not Ashley. Yeah, Ashley for years on Young and the Restless, and then whatever character on Days of Our Lives. She's been for years. But usually they're on one or the other. But I definitely saw Kevin, some clip of him on Days of Our Life, and some other actors that are moonlighting. I guess, look, we're gonna get work wherever we can, because the few scenes that they actually show Kevin in on All My Children, how's he feeding his family? So yeah, he does have to, they got to feed the family somehow. And I understand. Look, I appreciate that. Bottom line, that shows they can play two different people, unless they're playing people like each other on the other show, characters alike. And then we says, Chloe, Kevin, and Michael are three of my favorite characters. Kevin is on Days of Our Lives, but he occasionally floats back for scenes every 6 months or so. Yeah. LOL. There's so much they can do with Chloe. Really? No, they could do much more with Chloe. They could break her and Kevin up. Nah, let's not do that. But let's give Chloe a life. I wouldn't want them to break her up. She could go after Nick. Nah. Just give my girl something besides the same old Adam crap. Gloria is on Days. See, a lot of people are on Days of Our Lives. Days of Our Lives is probably like casting call. Who can we get from Young and the Restless? Hey, let's get her. Let's see. They started a storyline with her more than a year ago about a memory card. Yeah, they did. And that she had something to get. Yeah, she stole it from LA, and that never went anywhere, did it? She was hiding out. She had the memory card hidden in something in the Chancellor mansion. I remember that. Nothing happened with that. Let's see. Yeah, the writers, they dropped that. I don't know what, because Kevin found the flash drive or somebody found it, but nothing really happened to Gloria with that. They let that go. And I mean, really, is Gloria still in town? I think she's supposed to still be there. And Medora says Chloe needs to check her man. He has a side chick on Days of Our Lives. And then we've got Libby started laughing. Yeah, it's funny. There's no Kevin here, but look, all Kevin was good for is to come back losing a laptop, having it stolen. And then that was it. So wow. But anyway, that's it for Comment Corners. Thank you so much for your comments. I will be back tomorrow. Let's see what's going to happen on The Young and the Restless on Wednesday. We shall see where the story goes. I think it's still moving a little slow right now, but we shall see what happens next.